Hi, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video. So in this video, as requested, I'm going to talk about or start talking about autism or being neurodiverse. I'm not working today, it's my day off, but I do have to go to Worthing to pick up some new glasses, and it just dawned on me just now that I'm having a bit of a autistic moment. I have real anxiety about being late, like tremendous anxiety, resulting in the fact that I'm never late for anything. So what's prompted this is I have to be at the opticians at 10 to 1. Since about 10:30, it's now 10 to 11, I'm starting to get a bit anxious. I'm fidgeting, I'm looking at the clock every few minutes, and yeah, I'm working out like how long should I wait before I drive to Worthing, do I get the bus to Worthing? If I drive to Worthing, I've got to park and stuff like that, and or do I just get the bus? Is the bus going to turn up on time? Is the bus going to get me to Worthing in time for going to the opticians? This is all happening now, right? So I've just literally grabbed the camera because this is happening, and I'm stumbling over my words as well because of the anxiety of it. And this leads on to my job. So my job, and why I've put in for my own Rota line, and I've got my own Rota line, because when I was doing late, say I was starting at 4, half 4, 5 o'clock in the evening, from around about 12 o'clock I would start getting anxious. I'm thinking, right, I can't eat at work, so I need to eat at home, so I need to have my dinner. I would have my dinner around 11:30, 12 o'clock, depending on what time I'd have to leave. And quite often I'd get to work like an hour and a half, 2 hours early, purely because I'm like, I need to go. So in the morning, where I'm on earlies, I set my alarm for 3 o'clock. By the time I've got myself up, washed, dressed, had a coffee, it's pretty much time to go anyway. I always leave an hour before, like in the morning, I always leave an hour before I'm due to be at work, even though it only takes me 20 minutes to get to work in the morning, like driving. But then I've got it in my head, okay, I could leave it another half hour, but then what if I can't find somewhere to park? That's going to result in me being late. I also like to have a coffee before starting my duty as well. So yeah, it's a real drama. It's a real drama. When now I drive to work, it's not such an issue, but when I was catching the staff bus, that would create a whole new set of anxieties. I would be out 10 minutes before the staff bus was due, and the whole time I'm checking my watch, like every couple of minutes I'm checking my watch. Did I put my name on the list for the staff bus? Is the staff bus going to turn up? Has the staff bus broken down? It would be a real issue, a real drama. And so yeah, that's why I've got my own Rota line. As for the job itself and being late, once I'm at work, being late isn't such an issue because I check my bus out. If I end up being late, I know it's not my fault. Like if I detect a fault on the bus and I then have to check out another bus, that can make me late on leaving the garage. And but that's not an issue because by the time you get run light to the terminus, you're generally back on time anyway. And because that time of the morning it's generally quite quiet anyway, you can normally get the time back. The only time I really get anxious about being late at work is if it's my coming off trip, or if the bus comes to me late, because straight away I'm like, okay, you know, this is going to be a hard half, you know. Generally, in between, it doesn't matter because you get turnaround time, so I just go in and out. You know, I don't take the turnaround times if I'm late, and maybe that's part of the issue with being late. So yeah, I do get major anxiety about late. I do have a thing about being late. As for my job itself, it's really quite good because it's quite structured. We have a duty sheet. I've shown you my duty sheets before. It tells me what time I've got to start, what time I've got to leave the garage, what time I've got to leave the terminus, what time I hand over, what time I go out on my second half, and what time I finish. It's all really structured, which for me is really beneficial. I know exactly what I'm doing and when I'm doing it. It's very clear. So yeah, you know, I'm checking the clock again. It's only been a few minutes. So yeah, that's certainly one of my traits, is anxiety about being late. I got asked in the comments of the last video, have I always known, and what made me start looking into it? So I haven't always known. I've always known I was different. I've always known that I struggle in social situations and I struggle making and keeping friendships. Obviously, I've always known that. But it wasn't until October of 2018 that, well, no, that's a lie. I started realising I had traits when someone in my family was diagnosed with autism. And looking into that, we started noticing that I had more and more traits, quite a few traits. And then in 2018, October 2018, my dad gave me some paperwork from school, and in that paperwork was two statements, one from 1984 and one from 1989, of special needs. Obviously back then autism wasn't a thing, didn't really exist as it does now. So when I saw those, made a lot of sense, and reading through those statements, I recognise a lot. I recognise a lot of what it said as being autistic. So I went to the doctors about it, took the statements with me, She referred me for a formal assessment, which I'm still waiting for, and it's now 2024, October 2024, nearly. But the doctor herself said she's 95% sure that I'm autistic. Obviously, she can't diagnose. It's because you have to have the assessment and so on. So yeah, and she said that because I'd been to see her, I can now have access to all the groups, which I sort of looked at her, and I don't like being in a group and having the focus of attention on me. She said, yeah, I know, you know. Anyway, yeah, she said I can gain access to all the support networks and whatever there is, to which I haven't really done. I don't know why I haven't done it. Probably because she said there were groups. Don't know. So yeah, that's basically how I found out. And obviously I've done a lot of research, which within myself, that's sort of another autistic trait. If I take an interest in something, I will go really deep into it. And I've got a number of books on therapies, and I've got the DSM-5, which is the diagnostic manual for all mental disorders. So yeah, that's basically how and why I started looking into it. And yeah, I'm still learning. Like I'm noticing more and more and more things that could, and most probably are, down to my autism. But the trouble is with people, or the thing is with people, is everyone thinks like they do, if that makes sense. And as we know, that's not the case. So I've just spent my life being the way I am, thinking everyone else is the same. And quite clearly they're not. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm thinking about doing these videos unedited as well. So you actually see the process, like my actual, how I stumble with words, how I struggle to get out what's in here. But yeah, at work, no one really sees this, because at work it's a weird thing. I think possibly because I've been doing it for a long time. I'm confident, I'm outspoken, you know, I'll quite happily share opinions. If something doesn't make sense to me, I'll quite clearly say that doesn't make sense. I am very literal as well. Like, I'm literal, but if someone's being sarcastic, I'm talking at work now, if someone's sarcastic at work or anything like that, I get it, and it's almost like that's the default at work. But outside of the work environment, I was saying this to someone I work with the other day, actually. Outside of the work environment, I'm completely different. I don't have the same level of confidence. I really struggle because I'm not in if I'm not in a familiar environment, I don't know whether that's because I find it overwhelming or, you know, everything. Um, yeah, I don't know. Is it masking? Could just be a case of masking. I've been putting that mask or putting that mask on for 20 odd years. Don't know. Yeah. Anyway, I was just about to say I'm going to go to the opticians, but it's still only 11:05. Um, so yeah. Anyway, I'm going to turn the camera off now and have lunch. Yes, it's 11:05, but I will be leaving at around about 10 to 12, and I'm going to have some lunch. So yeah, the anxiety is there though. I'm very much clock watching. So I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so it's 11:40. I've got to leave in 10 minutes, and I've had my lunch, beef and mustard sandwich, um, and I've literally been sat. I've had a YouTube video on Orion Kelly, that autistic guy, talking about autistic rage, and while I've been sat, I've noticed I'm doing it now that I'm fidgeting, what's commonly known as stimming. I'm rocking my leg, um, just trying to relieve the stress. Um, but I did think about like, why did I pick earlies for my Rota line? Well, the simple answer to that is I really struggle even being out the house past 8 o'clock in the evening. Obviously, on late, starting 3, 4, 5 in the evening, as I say, like the anxiety and the stress starts building at 11, 12 o'clock, midday. So by the time I get to work, quite often I was just exhausted anyway. And then you have 5, 6, sometimes 7 days of doing that. So by the time I got to my day off, I was in sort of like a autistic meltdown. I don't mean like an autistic meltdown is not rolling around the floor like a toddler having a tantrum. It's not that at all. So for me, in that circumstance, it's just I'm so mentally drained that on my day off, it's a struggle just to do anything. Like, I'll literally get out of bed and I'll sit on the sofa, and that's it. I won't move for the entire day. It's more than just being a bit tired. It's a case of my brain just can't function. You know, I have to do washing quite often. On my day off, I do my washing. Washing machine's on now. When I've been on late, it'll be a case of I'll get up and immediately I have to put the washing on, otherwise it won't get done. Yeah, I even struggle to get off the sofa to go and eat. So yeah, when I do go out, like if I go out to make a paranormal video, for instance, that's pre-planned, and I have to psych myself up for it. I have to prepare myself for it, and I'll go out and do it. It's fine. I'll do it, and then I'll get home, and it's just a relief to get home. And again, like when I've been out and done that, the next day I'll really struggle. The last week of lates that I did, I had 7 lates on the trot, and it took me nearly a week to get over it. which obviously isn't good. Like, you just don't have any life at all. So yeah, that's why I opted for earlies. So I don't finish past 2 o'clock really now, which suits me. It's a really good routine. I start between sort of 5, half 5, finish at 2, and then that gives me the opportunity to have my routine of an evening. So the whole day is just mapped out. So I'll get up, I'll wash, get dressed, have a coffee. I've started having like healthy shakes for breakfast because I generally don't eat breakfast. I'll go to work, I'll do my shift, I'll come home, take my uniform off, watch something either on YouTube or Netflix or study. I've not been reading lately because I haven't been able to see properly the words, hence the opticians. Yeah, I'll eat between sort of 4 and half 5. I'll watch something else on Netflix, and then I'll go to bed, or I have a shower and go to bed. So that's every day now. Whereas when I was on the 4-day or main line, I just had no routine. Like, it's impossible to have a routine, and it was just fucking screwing me up, man. Absolutely screwing me up. So yeah. Anyway, it's 11:15. I think I'm going to drive because I don't want to wait for the bus. I don't want to risk the bus being late. Yeah. So yeah, I'll take you along with me. And yeah, I've got to go. 11:47. Okay, so I'm on my way to Worthing. Weather is pants. So one of the things I absolutely love about driving is the fact that it takes my focus off of everything else, and because you have to focus 100% on your driving. Sort of gives a bit of relief from the stress. So it's still there though. Like, what's the time now? It's 5 to 12. I haven't got to be at the opticians until 10 to 1, and I'm halfway to Worthing already. There's a police van going past. Don't know where it's going. But I know once I'm parked, that anxiety will still come back until I actually get there. Is it weird? I don't know. I suppose it could be seen as weird. I've been told I'm weird because of getting everywhere so early and other things. so I'm in Worthing, and yeah, it's not too busy. Car park's really busy, and it's 12:10, so I've got 30 minutes to walk. Was probably going to only take 5.
All right, okay.
But obviously, when you have to go into town, it creates something else, other people. And when I want to get somewhere, the last thing I want is to get stuck behind other people, because it just increases that anxiety. So I can see the opticians now, so it's just along there, and it is 12:45. But the anxiety has left. I'm not anxious about getting there on time now. The only issue is I've got to wait around for 25 minutes. I apologise for the wind noise. And I've worn the wrong trainers. The grip on the bottom of my trainers has gone, so it's a bit slippy. I will go straight in, you never know. They might see me early, hopefully. So I'll turn you off, speak to you in a bit. Oh, I haven't gone straight in. I'll say about the anxiety left. The anxiety about getting here on time is left. Not the anxiety of actually going in and speaking to them. It's always stressful. So I found myself pacing about again before going in. It's another form of stimming. So what's the time? 12:17. Feels like I've been here 15 minutes already. Stuff it, let's do it. Okay, so it's 12:23. New glasses acquired. They saw me early. No problem finding them. No adjustments needed. Lovely girl. So yeah, I'm on my way back to the car. So total relief now. Can you see a difference in my persona? I don't know. See, that's the thing. I don't know if there are any visible signs that I display. Certainly inside, total relief. Right, it's done. I'm going back to the car. Just got to negotiate this very slippery walkway with no grip on your trainers. Anyway, I'll see you when I'm back in the car. So I've just got home. I did finish the video, but as I was driving home, I remembered of an incident that happened years ago, which for me really highlights my anxiety about being late. This happened a long time before I had any indication of being autistic. Had no clue back then. And I remember I woke up late. My alarm didn't wake up to the alarm, or the alarm didn't go off. And I was going to be 5 minutes late for work. I actually phoned up work to say that I wouldn't be in, and they asked me why, and I said, look, I've just woken up and I'm going to be like late. Obviously he had a look to see what time I was due to start. He said, you only be 5 minutes late. I said, yeah. I said, I'm sorry, but like, you know, I won't be in because I'm going to be late. And he must have thought, fucking hell, what a weirdo. But he said to me, look, don't worry about it. He said, just come in anyway. He said, and we'll work it out. So I went in anyway, and it was fine. But yeah, there's always stuck with me that the fact that I was just going to be 5 minutes late, and because I was going to be 5 minutes late, I was going to lose a whole day's pay. I would rather have lost a whole day's pay by not going in than be 5 minutes late. And yeah, looking back on it now, I can see that that's ridiculous. However, I think I've been late maybe since being at Brighton and Hove. I think I've been late maybe 3 times, and that one being one of them. I had one when I had my bike, actually. The bike broke down, and I had to bring it back, get the bike gear off, and then get to work on the bus. And that was so much stress. I walked through the door at work bang on when I should be starting, and to my mind I was like, oh my god, you know, it was so much stress. Yeah, that was a bad day. That day really triggered me. Anyway, I am going to end the video now. Thank you very much for watching. Please do hit the like, subscribe and comment below, and I'll see you again next time. Bye bye.